My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Alone. Now, this is a movie I heard really good things about, and I knew it was a thriller that took place in the woods, so I'm like, you know what, let's give it a try. And I have to say that I do not agree with the good reviews. I do not think this is a good movie. But let's begin with what I did like. The performances are pretty good. The main girl, Julia Wilcox, I thought did a really good job. I wish she was given a bit more to work with, but for what the movie required her to do, I thought she was good. Also, the other actor in this movie, Mark Menchaca, he actually looked like William H. Macy, and for some reason, his voice sounded like Thomas Hayden's Church to me. So, yeah, I don't know, he's just like this odd combo of William H. Macy's appearance and Thomas Hayden Church's voice. But maybe that's just me. But I also thought he did a good job for what the movie needed him to do. Once again, I wish these characters had a bit more to them, but for the most part, they did a good job. The first act of this movie is easily the highlight. That's when the movie's starting off, and I do think it gets off... that's a poor choice of word. The way the plot begins was really effective. It feels like this could happen to anybody. And just like that, you're drawn in. And I thought the main character for the first act was really smart. You'd expect her to do certain things like, oh, this is going to be another one of those dumb characters. But she does lots of smart stuff in the first act of this movie. But now to begin with my negatives, that kind of ends at the first act. This main character makes some really stupid decisions in this movie. Now to be fair, I've never been chased by some creepy dude in the middle of the woods, but there's a few things I would have done differently just by watching this movie. Like, she always runs in a straight line. Like, she never goes off the path. And if you want to lose someone, you should, turn left when they wouldn't expect you to. Or, hide and wait for them to run past you sometimes. And this character just makes so many baffling decisions. Like, there's one moment, well, not even one moment, there's a large section of this movie where she hides out around the same area. And I just don't understand why you would do that. Like, I guess it all... Oh, whoops, I almost said something that would be a spoil. Not gonna say that. But, I don't know, just some of the decisions she makes I found to be really stupid. And she gets incredibly lucky because there's a few times where the villain should have seen her. And somehow he didn't. Like, she's wearing a bright purple hoodie in the middle of the woods, and she's not even doing a great job hiding, and for some reason he doesn't see her. And that just takes me out of the movie. There's also one moment where a new character comes into the story, and just everything regarding this one character I did not buy whatsoever. But I think my biggest issue with this movie is just the fact that we've seen this kind of story done before. Like, it's a good premise, it could be done effectively, but it's not really done effectively here. The movie's directed by John Hyams, and I don't think he did a good job directing this movie. What should feel like a high-speed chase through the woods just feels like it's constantly dragging. Like, watch a movie like Apocalypto, which the entire second half of that movie is just one long chase scene. But that movie is constantly moving, there's energy, there's tension, and you just watch this movie and you're just waiting for stuff to happen. And that just it never does. And this kind of story has been done so many times that I feel like if you're going to tackle this kind of story, you have to have something about it that really allows this movie to stand out. And I don't think this movie did. There's a movie that came out a few years ago called Villains. If you haven't seen it, I absolutely love it. Like, I think it's probably the most underrated movie of the past decade. It stars Bill Skarsgård and Maiki Monroe, and it's definitely a type of movie that you've seen many times before. There's nothing new about the story in that movie. But what allows that movie to stand out is the two main performances, because they brought so much life into that movie. They made it feel unique and different, and they added lots of heart to the story. So even though I've seen that kind of story done in many other movies, it still felt new. It still was refreshing when I was watching Villains. And that's the direction you have to take with premises like this. You have to have something about it that allows it to stand out. The performances should have lots of life. Maybe make the villain a bit more crazy and over the top. Have the movie constantly moving. Have lots of great, intense, and thrilling moments. And this movie is just lacking in those. For a movie where I should be on the edge of my seat, being like, one, I was sitting in the back of my couch being like, yawn, yawn, yawn. It's just not an exciting movie, and it really should be. There's also some moments where, look, this character's hiding in this huge forest, and somehow she's constantly getting found. I just don't buy that. I really don't. But I will give this movie one more positive, that I do like the ending of this movie. The character does a very smart thing that I thought was an excellent note for the movie to end on. But there's nothing special about this movie. The performances are good, the first act does a good job of setting off the story, but everything from that point on just does nothing for me. I don't think this movie is nearly as intense or thrilling or as exciting as it should be. It's lacking anything that really allows it to stand out. There are some really stupid decisions made in this movie, and yeah, it's a movie that I'm not going to remember. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Alone a 4 out of 10. Okay, have you seen Alone? Or have you seen two Alones? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.